a serger which has 4 threads, and what it makes is a chain stitch. So this kind of a chain stitch is used to finish off edges. So if you look at the inside of a garment, often they have serged edges like that. So whenever we make costumes, we first serge off the edges, the raw edges, so that it prevents fraying of the fabric, and then we put it together. Okay, so I'll show you how to serge. It's also called an overlock machine or a marrow machine. So sergers can have 2 threads. They can be set up with 3 threads. These are set up with 4 threads. These can also be used to put knitted fabrics into garments. So they can actually be used to substitute for stitching on a machine, and these themselves can make seams to put 2 layers together. But you can't do them with woven fabrics like this. You can use them on knitted fabrics like t-shirts and things like that. So the sergers usually have a blade, so anything you put past the blade gets cut off. You have the same parts like the other machines, like the presser foot, the throat plate, the feed dog that feeds the fabric forward, and the only difference is the blade that cuts off a little bit of the fabric, and after cutting off, it winds, it chains around the edge to form a serged edge. So it's always a good idea to actually definitely cut a little bit off. What you want to watch for is not to cut too much off. And what you want to start with is a chain at the beginning, because they are chains. They are not knotted into each other. So if you don't start with a chain, this thread can get unthreaded. And it's always a good practice to keep a long tail at the beginning and at the end, so that the next person who's sitting on the serger has a tail to begin with. So I'm finishing up one edge, and here I have a tail. I'll cut it off, and then I'll start with so you have some tail left there. What you also should watch for is not to change the orientation of these threads. They should always be nice and taut, so that they feed into the machine correctly. If these machines get unthreaded, it takes a lot of time to thread them, so I always warn my students to make sure that they are not the ones to unthread them.